Now that is how you do a season finale. Hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another TV episode review. Guys, this is a very special TV episode review because I just watched the season 4 finale of The Walking Dead, and oh man, so many crazy things happened tonight, guys. I really enjoyed tonight's episode. I can't believe we have to wait till October. I am really upset about that, but nevertheless, what can we do? The season has ended, and we have to wait until October. Real quick, guys, before I get into this beast of a review, I have a lot of things to discuss, guys, so I hope you're going to stick with me. There are a lot of points I have to go over for the episode, because a lot of things happened tonight, guys. Now, I know I don't sound right, guys. That's something I want to address real quick. As many of you know, I'm still getting over the flu. I feel a lot better. I got my energy back. I'm not that weak anymore. I really feel better than I did the beginning of this week. But I'm losing my voice, so you guys got to bear with me. Excuse me. I'm going to be taking breaths and drinking a lot of water during the review, guys, so I hope you bear with me. It's to get my throat to feel better, my breathing and all that stuff. And I'm going to be coughing a lot, so I just want you guys to be aware of that. But with that being said, let's get into this beast of a season finale. Holy crap, did a lot happen on it, and maybe it didn't end the way we were all picturing it to end, but it ended with a great cliffhanger and a freaking fantastic line from Rick, and I can't wait to see where they're going to go with the show from now on. Anyway, guys, let's get to it. Tonight was the season finale. Of course, guys, in case you didn't know, spoiler heavy. I'm going to go hard on this episode. I'm going to spoil the whole entire thing, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, do not watch this video. Excuse me, guys. Oh, I'm going to have to make a lot of pauses. But tonight's episode, guys, was Season 4, Episode 16. The title of the episode was simply A. And we come to realize what that means about close to the end of the episode. Excuse me, guys. So anyway, guys, real quick, a little bit of a recap on last week's episode. As we all know, Glenn was reunited with Maggie, Bob Stuckey, and all of them, and Abraham. They all made it to Terminus, and they met that creepy lady, and she asked them if they wanted a plate. A lot of people have been speculating. Are they cannibals? I think they're cannibals. No one's around. Why is she offering them meat all of a sudden? And that's how last week's episode ended off, guys. And if you watched my review last week's episode real quick, just wanted to throw this out there. I felt terrible when I was watching it. I gave it a really bad review. I have since rewatched that episode, and it is not as bad as I originally thought. Still not a great episode, but it was decent, so I just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, getting back to the awesome finale tonight, guys. They did so many things right with the finale tonight, in my opinion. The show was not only tense and exciting, but it sucked me back in. It reminded me of the good old days of some of the Season 1 episodes of The Walking Dead, some of the later episodes of Season 2, and some of the later episodes and first episodes of Season 3. That is what tonight's episode reminded me of The Walking Dead. This was classic Walking Dead, in my opinion. Slow build-up of tension. You got some really, big scenes that happen in the middle, and then you got a whole, bunch of build-up, more of tension towards the end of the episode, and then the very end, close to the end, all the crap hits the fan, and the conflicts start brewing, and that's what I loved about tonight's episode. So getting into the plot, guys, tonight, finally, we get back to seeing what is going on with Rick, Carl, and Michonne. They have basically been absent since episode 11. They made a brief appearance last week. But other than that, they've basically been absent for 4 episodes. So it was good to finally see them back tonight. Now, not only do we get to see their storyline and how they are still trying to get to Terminus in tonight's episode, but we also get to see a bunch of flashbacks that are actually very important to the story. I know a lot of people may have been confused by why they were playing these flashbacks and why they were relevant, but there is a reason why they were relevant, in my opinion, that I am going to discuss. But I'll get into the flashbacks. Basically, the flashbacks are set between the beginning of season 4 and the end of season 3, when the prison group starts to go through that agricultural phase, and Rick starts to become Farmer Rick. He starts to become less of that protector of the group. He kind of puts the gun aside, as does Carl, and the two of them take up farming. That was the significance of tonight's episode. And that whole message that they've been trying to demonstrate throughout the whole season, of how we're not too far gone, with our morals and the way we act, the way we think, our actions themselves. That was the whole point of those flashbacks and the build-up of those flashbacks throughout the whole season. It's that Rick and all of them, they're not too far gone, but at certain points they will have to go far with their morals, and they will have to do extreme things just to survive, to stay alive. That's the point of all of that, but I'll get more into that. So basically, Rick, Carl, and Michonne are on the run. They are still trying to get to Terminus. They're following the train tracks, but they're camping out in the woods. Rick's setting up, like rabbit traps and everything. And basically, the characters are still trying to flee. They're fleeing zombies, but they're still trying to get to Terminus. It's just the three of them. And as we all know, there is a certain group that is right on their tail, and that group is Daryl's new group, Joe's group. Because if you remember in the end of last week's episode, when Daryl met up with that group, that new group that claims everything, that was the same group that Rick ran into in episode 11. So, they've been building up that storyline with Joe and his group. Rick killed one of their group members in the bathroom. Remember, he strangled him. And that is why they are hunting Rick. But Daryl doesn't know who they're hunting. He knows they're hunting someone, but he does not know they're hunting Rick. So he's just, unknowingly following them and going with them while they're going after Rick. So Rick and Michonne, it's late one night, they're by a campfire, and Joe and his group suddenly appear, and this is like early on in the episode, so that the tension is just starting to get real, and they didn't even get to Terminus yet. So Joe and his group surround Rick, Carl, and Michonne, but Daryl's nowhere to be found in the beginning. And Joe goes on, he's like, "Oh, I finally found him. I've been tracking you down. You made mistakes. I finally got you," or whatever. I'm paraphrasing, of course. And he holds Rick up at gunpoint. Excuse me, guys. Holds Rick up at gunpoint, and it's about to, they're about to mess them up, Joe and his group, when Daryl steps in and is like, no, I'm not going to let you guys kill them. They're good people. Starts defending them. Joe obviously doesn't like this, and I'm like, oh, somebody just, come in and kill this guy already. I've been waiting to see Joe die ever since I saw him come on the show in episode 13 when he met with Daryl. I knew it was bad news, and I was waiting for someone to take him out. So when Daryl finally stands up for Rick, defends Rick, Joe don't like this very much, has his guys start beating on Daryl. So they're beating on Daryl. Rick knows that he has to do something about this. He can't just let them beat the crap out of Daryl. So Joe and his group start, kicking the crap out, Joe starts kicking the crap out of Rick, and Rick's just, I'm like, come on, Rick, you gotta fight back. You can take him out. And, one guy starts messing around with Carl, throws Carl on the ground, and I'm like, you know what, Rick's gonna do something here. I knew it. So he looks Joe right in the face. Joe's like, come on, I want to see you attack me. I want to see you stand up for yourself. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Rick takes one look at him, grabs him, and freaking bites into his neck. I'm like, what? What is this? Apparently this happened in the comics. My brother was using the StorySync app, and he's like, oh, this happened in the comics according to StorySync. I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy crap, Rick, he just went freaking Hannibal Lecter on Joe. Just rips a hunk out of him. Well, Daryl, gets the courage to fight back, kills those two guys that are beating on him. Michonne kills someone, and then Rick just takes a knife, and another one of the members is holding Carl at, he's got a knife to his throat. Rick just takes him and just starts slashing him repeatedly. Rick has gone freaking crazy again. Beast mode, Rick mode is back. Crazy Rick mode is back. And you know it when you saw Rick take that hunk out of Joe. That was honestly one of the most shocking moments of the whole finale. And I loved every single second of it. So Rick and the gang, they take all of them out. Sorry guys, I am going to have to refer to my notes. I do not want to miss a single plot point. I basically got all of that, and basically Rick has another flashback. Rick has a series of flashbacks throughout the whole entire episode. After having killed Joe, it's the next morning. Rick's sitting against that car. You get that bloody shot of him. You got blood all over his face and everything. And you could tell that he didn't want to do what he had to, but when he saw that guy attacking Carl, on top of Carl, it looked like he almost wanted to rape. I don't know, that was very creepy and weird. Rick knew what he had to do, and that's why the flashbacks are actually important here. As I was saying earlier, what Rick has been saying, that we're not too far gone, and once, we can come back from the things we do. Yes, you can, and that's what happened in the beginning of season 4, and that is why Rick changed his ways throughout this whole entire season. He did it not only for himself, but he did it for Carl, because he saw what Carl did. Well, he heard what Carl did to Jody. Remember Carl, at the end of season 3, he shot that kid. That was a major event that happened that changed Rick's ways, helped change Rick's ways. Because we see a lot of Herschel in these flashbacks, which was very sad to watch, because it's Herschel, the moral compass in these flashbacks. But Herschel was the one who talked Rick out of, his protector, his leadership ways, and that's why Rick started that farming lifestyle, and that was the significance of the flashbacks. But he not only did that, for himself and, that bad place he was at the end of throughout season 3 with Lori and, him flipping out, but he did it for Carl's sake, because he didn't want Carl to turn out bad, even though at times Rick will do what he must to survive. Especially, he'll do anything for Carl, and that's why he went batshit insane and he ripped that hunk out of Joe. He bit that hunk out of Joe. And Rick and Daryl have a very nice moment, and Rick refers to Daryl as his brother in this part of the episode. I really liked that moment of the episode. I mean, Rick and Daryl are honestly the two best characters on the show right now, in my opinion. They're not only the most interesting, they're the most entertaining characters. I just love hearing what they have to say in their relationship with one another. Whenever they get scene lines of dialogue with one another, oh, that feels good. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I love seeing the two of them interact, and just have that tender moment between the two of them was awesome. But Rick is explaining to Daryl, I did that because I had to. It was them or me, and that really it was them, him. It was either they had to die, and Rick had to do that, or it was going to be him, Michonne, Carl, and Daryl. So that's why Rick had to do that. If you don't do these things, then you're not going to survive in this world. That's simple. And he had to do that for Rick. So exactly, that's the point of you're not too far gone, and you can come back from the things you've done. Rick did that, yet he's still sane. He did that because he had to, because you can still come back from those things. And I like how they're stressing that throughout the whole entire episode, and they stressed that the whole season. So that was cool. So Rick, Carl, Michonne, and Daryl is now with them, yes. They continue onward to Terminus, and they finally get there. So they decide to scope the place out a bit. Rick hides their guns, most of their guns. They decide to pop one of the fences and go into Terminus with one weapon each. Obviously they all have their signature weapons, basically. But before that happens, Michonne has a very touching scene with Carl that I really liked. We get to learn a little bit more of that backstory of the pet walkers that she had, her boyfriend and her friend, and how she lost her child involving her refugee camp that she was at. It was overrun. She lost her child, and her boyfriend and her friend were high, which is why her kid was killed. And he turned or whatever. I forget what happened to the kid. And the two of them, they were high, and they both got bitten while they were high. In order to make them suffer, she did not kill them. She let them turn into walkers, cut their arms off, crush their mouths, and chained them. And that's why we saw Michonne with her two walker pets. That's how she got the walker pets. And Michonne even explains how she was in a bad place, but she came back from it when she met Andrea, and then even Rick when she joined the prison group. So again, the show is trying to stress that we can all come back from the things that we do, and I really like that. But anyway, back to Terminus. They finally get to Terminus, and it's again very quiet. But Rick, Carl, Daryl and Michonne go in through a different entrance than Glenn, Maggie, and all of them entered in last week's episode. They go into like the base of operations. They see the woman who's leaving the radio transmissions, and they see a whole bunch of people standing up and working, and we don't see Glenn in the group. So I knew something was going on, and I still have the thought of cannibalism in the back of my head. So with that being said, Rick and they introduce themselves to the Terminus people, and the Terminus people introduce themselves. They come off as not only creepy, but you know that they're hiding something. You could tell. You know, they try to come off as friendly, but you know they're hiding something. You know they're creepy. We get that feeling. One of the heads of the Terminus group, Garrett is his name, introduces himself to Rick and the others. They have them drop their weapons, and then they give them their weapons back, Rick and the group, and they take them, I guess, on around Terminus. So at this point, the tensions died down a little bit, but it's still there. You feel it. You know something's going to happen. You know there's something off with this place, because we're just sitting there and thinking, we're like, where's Glenn? Where's Maggie? Where's Abraham? And all of them, where are they? We know they're there. We know something happened to them, and the tension's building. A very somber moment of the episode, but Garrett and the people at Terminus, they bring Rick and the group to the front, to that woman who met with Glenn and them last week. I forget her name. And, she acts very hostile towards them, and she gets the people to, make them up a plate. Again, she mentions the thing with the plate and cooking and meat and all that. So, as they're cooking up some meat, Rick starts looking around at some of the people that do live in Terminus. He starts eyeing them. He starts seeing some of the people. So some people do live there, but yet we still don't know where the group is. Rick doesn't know the group is there yet. Now they're just Daryl, Michonne, and Carl. They don't know that until Rick starts looking around. I love this part of the episode. Rick just impressed the hell out of me in this scene. He starts looking around. He starts noticing objects that belong to the group. He sees Glenn's riot gear on one of the Terminus people. He sees one of the orange bags that belong to the group. And the thing that gives it away, and they hinted to this in the beginning of the episode, in one of the flashbacks, Herschel mentions Glenn's pocket watch. The pocket watch Herschel gave Glenn. Rick spots it on the pocket of one of the Terminus people. And just as Carl takes a plate, Rick pulls out his gun and demands to know where his people are. And Daryl pulls out the crossbow. Michonne's got her sword. Everyone's holding guns at everyone. The Terminus people are holding all of them at gunpoint. Rick is holding them at gunpoint. Everyone's holding everyone at gunpoint. The tension has escalated, and I could not wait to see how things were going to unfold. Excuse me, guys. So, cutting to commercial, they come back, and Rick is demanding to know where his people are. He pulls the pocket watch out. He's like, where did you get this from? Garrett's trying to reason with him. He's telling everyone, something's going on. He's like, oh, they already know. They don't trust us already. You know that they know something, and I know it involves cannibalism. It's obvious because of one shot that happens later in the episode, which I'll get to. So anyway, you can't prevent a gunfight from happening, which is exactly what happens. Rick, Daryl, Michonne, and Carl are running loose through Terminus. Meanwhile, you got snipers on the roof. You got people located all around the area. They're firing at Rick, Carl, Michonne, and they have terrible aim. And you realize that for some reason, they're not firing at them. They're shooting at their feet, and they're shooting next to them. They're trying not to hit them. Rick even makes that known. So they're running throughout Terminus, and they're trying to find their people. The scene was intense as hell. I could not wait to see what the hell was going to happen here. There was like 5 minutes or something left, and I was still thinking that a major character's going to die. We're going to find out that one of the characters from last week's group that made it to Terminus is dead. Things are just getting so intense. They're running throughout buildings in Terminus, and Rick they run through this room with candles. They pass by a whole bunch of like organs and T-bone steaks and everything. And I'm yelling at the TV with my hoarse throat. I'm like, they're freaking cannibals. Look at this shit. The answer is right there in front of us. They are eating people. I don't trust these sons of bitches. Why did you guys go there? I'm yelling at my TV. I'm watching this with my dad and my brother. I'm freaking them out because my voice sounds off. And, eventually, the Terminus people, they hold Rick, Daryl, Michonne, and Carl at gunpoint, and they can't go anywhere. They're trapped. So Rick is demanding to know where the people are. Everyone wants to know where everyone is, and you still see these large letter A's all over the place. And Rick is still demanding to know, and Garrett finally comes out, and he's like, if you want to survive, you don't want me to kill your kid here, go into that train. There's a train carriage on a set of train tracks. It's got the letter A on it, and it's got a whole bunch of steps going into it. He orders Rick, followed by Daryl, then Michonne, and then Carl to get onto the train, and I guess they're going to shut the door and lock him in there. This is the end of the finale. Excuse me, guys, I gotta get some more water. I'm like, holy shit, there's 2 minutes left. No one's dead. There's no way. Where's Beth? Where's Tyrese and Carol? I'm like freaking out. And Rick, Daryl, Michonne, and Carl, they all enter the car, and they shut the door and lock it. And we finally get to see Glenn, Maggie, all of them. They're all alright. Glenn, Maggie, Bob, Sasha, Tara, Eugene, Abraham, and Rosita, they're all alive. They all come walking to Rick, Daryl, Michonne, and Carl. So as of right now, everyone in the prison group is reunited except for Tyrese, Carol, and Beth. And Judith. The 4 of them are still missing. We don't know where they are. But Rick reunites with them, and he has one last flashback of him in the field with Herschel, Carl, and Judith, and Beth. And Beth is holding Judith, and I'm like, oh shit. They're going to show us Beth. Beth is dead. Maybe they ate her already. I don't know. And I'm like, where is Beth? And they just have a really sweet and tender moment. And Rick flashes forward. And Rick tells Abraham and all of them, he's like, they're going to be sorry. And then Abraham's like, why? And then Rick's like, because they're messing with the wrong people. Wait, let me see. Let me get the direct quote. He's like, they're screwing with the wrong people. And then it cuts to black and the finale ends. And a part of me is sitting there, I'm like, no, there's still so many unanswered questions. Where is Beth? What is going on with this place? What is going to happen? And a part of me was so, relieved that no one died, but then again, so upset that it's over, and then they kind of ended it with a cliffhanger, The gang, they're trapped in this place with these hungry cannibals. Yes, they're cannibals. We've already established this. They're cannibals, alright? And they're trapped in there. They're still missing 4 group members, and they're stuck. But little do the people of Terminus know what Rick and all of them have been through. Everything with the governor and the prison and being on their own, and how great survivors they are in this world, how much they can survive, how far they'll go to survive. Rick is just as much of a cannibal as they are, because he just took that hunk out of Joe and killed Joe. So you can tell that when Rick said that, they don't know who they're screwing with. He meant it, because they are going to put up a fight. They're going to give them hell in season 5, and I can't freaking wait for it. Guys, that's the end of the season finale. That was the end of the episode. Very unfortunate in a way. So many interesting things happened. So many tense things happened tonight, guys. I was really a big fan of it. I'm sorry the review's going longer than it needs to be, but I finally come to the end. I'm going to score the episode, and then I'm going to real quickly rate the season as a whole, because it's the season finale. I am thinking about doing a complete overview of the season 4. I think I'm going to completely review the season as a whole in a couple of days, not tonight, not for a few days. Gotta let the finale sink in a little bit, but I will come back in the next few days and review the season as a whole. Anyway, with that being said, tonight's season finale was easily one of the best episodes of the season. So much build up to this Terminus thing, and the crap has finally hit the fan, and they end it with a cliffhanger. In a way, I love cliffhangers, in a way I don't. I like this cliffhanger because we know the group is still alive, and they're stuck here, and they gotta fight these people, and I can't wait to see them rise above the people at Terminus and take them all out. I can't wait for it. So guys, tonight's episode, I loved it. You know what, the last episode I wasn't a huge fan of. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't a huge fan of it, and even a few other episodes of the second half of the season were upsetting, but this is one of the best episodes of the season in my opinion. This was a great finale, better than the season 3 finale for sure. I'm going 9.5 out of 10. I really liked it, guys, I gotta admit it. Classic episode of The Walking Dead, reminded me of what I love about the tension, the small tense moments that they could still have on the show, and they had a lot of them tonight, and that's what I really loved about the finale. Not only that, guys, the writing was great tonight. The episode was well directed. The acting was a step up. Just those several moments in the episode, you know, Rick losing it, going crazy, and killing Joe, biting him. Rick finding out that Terminus did something to his group with the pocket watch thing. That was awesome. The flashbacks, like I've been mentioning throughout the whole review, I like how they've been leading, how they've been dealing with that, you know, that thing of that we're not all too far gone. That one aspect of the story they've been trying to show and demonstrate all season long, especially with Rick's character and all, and how Rick has stepped down as the leader gradually and become more, he's taken more of that agricultural lifestyle or whatever. I liked the thing with the flashbacks. I thought it was cool. It's nice to see Herschel back. Nice to see all of that. And you know what? Well, I was a little upset with the way they ended the finale. I was hoping for a different route that they ended it in. I liked the ending. I was overall pleased with it. Now, my only problem with tonight's episode is that it's not really tonight's episode. It's really the second half of the season as a whole. It took too long to get to this point, and the whole Terminus story, the whole revelation that there's something wrong with the sanctuary, that Terminus isn't a sanctuary, it was rushed. I feel it was a little too rushed. They rushed into it for the finale. I get it, but that was a little upsetting. So I just wanted to make that known. So overall, though, great season finale. I'm really impressed with it. I can't wait to see what they do with season 5 with these characters. I can't wait, really. You know, the last review I did of last week's episode, I said I'm done with the show. That was because I wasn't feeling right, and yeah, I'm definitely not done with the show. They can have a bad episode or two. That's understandable. Every show normally does, except Breaking Bad. But then they have a couple of gems, which they did throughout the season, and this was one of them. I love tonight's episode. The season as a whole, quick little rating, I'm going to go 8.5 out of 10. I will explain that rating in my overview of Season 4, my whole entire review of Season 4, which will be up later this week. When I get my thoughts together on the season, that's when I'll review Season 4 as a whole. But as of right now, these are my thoughts on the finale of Season 4 of The Walking Dead. So guys, I want to hear what you have to say about it. Let me know down below in the comments. What did you think of the finale? Did you love where they're going with Rick's character? Did you love what they did with him on the finale? Are you glad Rick and Daryl have reunited and they're brothers? Are you glad that Rick and the group finally made it to Terminus? What do you predict is going to happen for Season 5? Let me know all of that down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me, guys, and my throat and the end of my flu. But I'm feeling a lot better, which is great. So thank you guys for watching, and unfortunately, I'll see you back in October when I review Season 5. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Bye.